Well, everyone, welcome. This is a popular topic, right? What happens when we're offering Reiki to a group or to one and a group, and they're in a group, and then all of a sudden they get pushed aside, right? So last week we talked about how to handle distant sessions, right? But when we were talking, it's interesting because this morning I'm teaching an Animal Reiki for Reiki practitioner class, and this morning it was all about Honshaze Shonen, which in traditional Japanese Reiki, it means connection. In Western Reiki, it means the distant symbol. But what we're learning about Honshaze Shonen is that it's really about when our mind is right? When we no longer have anger or worry, and we can get to that place by doing the precepts, then our body, our mind is in a more open space. Now, when we sit with the animal in that energy of love, we're actually, not only are we helping ourselves transcend what's happening on the physical, but the animal is transcending what's happening on the physical. When we are in that energy of love and no anger, no worry, which is this pure energy, right? Then we start to realize what really is real, that is what's real. Like this connection up here, even though it seems it's hard for our ego to even understand it, when we're up here, that's what's real. This beautiful feeling of love, this beautiful feeling of no pain, nothing. It's all up here, right? We're rising above this physical.
Oh,
Sorry, I don't know what happened. It's Mercury retrograde. We're going into it, and I'm telling you, my electronics are not happy. So sorry about that. So we're transcending it. So the only way we can do that, though, is if we are of right mind. So am I cutting in and out? I'm sorry. Let's see if I can change. Sorry about this, everyone. Okay, let me know. Is that better? Oh, everybody's frozen now. Shoot.
the group there. Oh, here.
Yeah, not sure.
Are you with us, Leah?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
You can. So sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. It says I have a signal, but for some reason it's not liking it. So I'm trying to shut down everything that could be causing that, but there's really not a lot. But anyway, so the only way we can transcend and understand oneness, right? That we're all one, is if we can have a right mind. So in level one, I want to talk a little bit about like the path, how we get to this place where we can effectively offer distant treatments, but not only that, but in a group treatments, right? So level one, we're learning the precepts. We learn some basic meditations, but we're learning how to let go of our anger and our worry. We're learning how to be better and stronger as this beautiful energetic force, right? So when we can let go of our anger, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to mute everyone here. When we can let go of our anger and our worry, now we get to this higher space, right? Now we get to a more open space, because anger and worry, if you think about it, are really heavy, dark kind of energies. And so we start to block ourselves off when we have worry, when we have anxiety, when we have all these things. When we can't see past what's happening on the physical, it's really hard for us to make that deeper connection. So the reason I wanted to give that kind of prelude is when we talk about going in with a large group of animals, we're saying, okay, so if we're saying that when you go in, right, you are the sun, your energy is the sun. And I'm going to use an example of horses at Pregnant Mare Rescue, because there was a horse named Rose. She was a Mexican pony. So she was kind of like a halfling. She was a little bit bigger than a pony, but she wasn't the full size of a horse. And she had brain damage. So when a horse has brain damage, their ears kind of always go out to the side. They can't go forward. And she would just kind of plod along. And the other horses were mean to Rose. They would push her out of the way when it would come feeding time. And they were just kind of just not nice to Rose because she was slower. But here's the thing about Rose. Rose got everything she needed. Rose was the fattest horse on property. And it wasn't because they were chasing her away. You think, oh my gosh, Rose is going to start. Rose knew how to get around. Well, it's kind of the same thing with our energy, right? We go in there, we say, let animals lead. So you go in there with a group of horses, and let's say, here's Rose. I'm going in with a group of horses. And our intent is, I need to be with Rose. Rose isn't feeling well, so I really want to support her. But if we have other horses coming in, like the lead horse comes up right away, right? Gets right on us. Or there's other horses that come up right on us. And we think, oh my gosh, I'm here for Rose, but I've got all these other horses around me. There is no problem because your energy is shining out. So we say, let animals lead. We're allowing whatever animals want to join us in the space to join us, and those who don't have to. But Rose, even though she might be pushed out of the herd, even though she might be far away, what makes sense about this that she wouldn't feel my energy? Nothing. Because my energy is like the sun. It's not like I'm turning it up, going, oh, I better dial my energy up now because it's got to be really powerful to reach that. No, our energy, once we step into that space and say, I am open to connecting, I am going to create this beautiful space of love and light, and you can come and connect or not. Now it's an open invitation. So all horses, and maybe Rose doesn't want part of it. Maybe that's her way of letting animals lead. Maybe she just wants to sit out there and take it however she wants. We have to let go of our ego when we're offering Reiki to groups of animals, because our ego will always tell us not good enough. This isn't good enough. You're not doing enough. Your energy isn't strong enough. But the animals show us your energy was very strong. Your energy is very powerful. So even the energy of anger, the energy of worry, very powerful. But the energy of love is even more powerful. So if we can focus on that when we go in with a group of animals, right? We're just that beautiful shining light. Then we sit down, and now we can be confident that all animals who want to share in this light can and will. We no longer have to worry, oh my gosh, is my energy going to go this way? Is my energy going to go? Do I have enough energy? Is my energy strong enough? That's all worry, which actually clouds that connection, right? Worry and anxiety and frustration, they're all like walls that start to block that deeper connection. But if we can just sit in that space of love and trust, now any and all can connect with us. And it was like a couple weeks ago, we talked about Karen offering Reiki to the birds in this little bush that was no longer blooming. It was, out of season. And then all of a sudden, one lone little purple flower bloomed right in the spot where she was offering Reiki. So we don't know where or who is receiving our energy, who's connecting to us. But what we can be sure of is that our energy is healthy, it's healing, and it's loving. So I wanted to just share that on our topic, and I want to turn it over to Jamie to get her thoughts on this as well. Oh, you're on mute, Jamie. Jamie, mute.
Okay, sorry about that. I love that this piggybacks on like last week, right? And even though I know we hear this a lot, I think it's important that we continue to hear this a lot, because that's how we're going to change our mindset. Because for most of us, I mean, I know for me, I still have to watch the thoughts that are going on in my mind when I approach an animal. I know that I am the sun. I know that it shines out. I know that. But there's always that little voice, that ego, that mindset, that programming that can sneak in there. And so the more we talk about this, the more we're reminded about this, I think the easier it becomes that we just go into this place where we know, we let go of that ego. We know that we can just shine. And it can be really, the ego is so sneaky, right? We think we've got it mastered, and then something happens and this thought comes back. And maybe we don't know it until we're in the middle of a session and we're getting frustrated. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? So I love that both last week and this week is piggybacking on this idea of, we just need to shine.
Absolutely. We need to just sit back and let go, but that's hard because our ego is very
Yes.
powerful, and our ego says you're limited. Your energy is limited. Who you are is limited, and you're not. You're limitless. You are literally limitless. It was really beautiful. I might get a little emotional. One of the students in the morning class, Shelly,
Cutting
she
in and out again, Leah.
what am I really here? I can feel let me just try to cut as much as possible off of here. Just one sec. Sorry about that. I'm just going to get out of all programs so that we can get clean. So this is like words to the wise on Zoom, a Zoom trick. If you want perfect reception when you don't have it, and I might have to go off camera, might be the other solution for this. Am I still cutting out, Jamie?
Yes, you'd cut out a little bit.
Okay, so let me just turn off
Yes.
my video and see if this is better. So is it better if I cut the video? Can you hear me?
So far it is. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yes,
so,
we can.
Now I lost my train of thought. What were you talking about again? Like completely lost. Can you
We
hear me?
were, oops. Yes, we can hear you. Absolutely. I know it's crazy, isn't it? How this messes us up. The ego and how powerful it is and how it
Right.
can manipulate, get us thinking that we're not enough or we're doing it wrong or
And I think that that's where we all go wrong. And I think that's where we get frustrated, that we get frustrated when we think I'm not doing enough. I'm not, I'm not big enough. I'm not this. But again, we really are limitless in our energetic power. It's again that ego that keeps us small, just like you said, Jamie, the ego constantly always keeping us small. So, how do we combat that? Right? We know this is happening. How do we combat that? Well, we combat it by saying to ourselves, all is well, which is a foundational teaching, right? That comes from Louise Hay, all is well. Because in this moment, right now, all really is well. Oh, I know what I was sharing. I was sharing about Shelly's dog. So, and this goes back to the all is well. So Shelly recently lost a beloved dog, Winnie, and she wasn't ready to get another dog, but this dog at the shelter came up and she took her home. Her name is Bee. And this morning she got a call from the Little Rock, Arkansas Animal Control, where she volunteers. So many dogs get put down there. It's very common. They get a lot of dogs. They have to put a lot of dogs down. And so she got a call from the shelter asking if she would, share.
oh, you're
Oh gosh, am I cutting out again?
out again, Leah.
Oh gosh,
Yes.
I don't know how to fix this. And this is such an important teaching. Let me see what is going on here. I'm so sorry, everyone, because this is a really important teaching.
Well, technical. It is important, and we all know that technical difficulties happen, and
Yes, they
I don't
do.
know.
So,
I know you're in the middle of a move, so
yeah, so
that
we'll
could
have
have
to fix
something to
this.
do
But
with it.
can you hear me okay now? Can you
Yep,
hear me?
now we can
Okay.
at the
All right.
moment.
All right. Well, just can you please give me a like a finger or something, Jamie, when I do start to cut out, so I know, because I have no clue if I'm cutting out.
Okay, I'll just go
Yeah. All right.
like that.
Thank you for that. So Shelly has Bee, and there was a dog getting put down, and they asked her to offer Reiki. And so she said, of course. So she went to sit to offer Reiki for this dog that was passing. And she, did her breathing, got on, and here comes Bee. And Bee's just standing next to her. And she's like, oh, she must want Reiki. She feels her getting into the Reiki space. So she must want Reiki. Well, Bee didn't want Reiki. B was holding space with her. So as soon as Shelly put her hand on B, she said she just felt this enormous rush of energy and this expansion. And she realized in that moment that there was no Shelly offering, B offering, Jackie accepting. It was this elevated feeling of they're all one, they're all together. There is no separation at all. And I thought that was, I wanted to share that because I thought that was a beautiful example and really like the ultimate of what we're trying to achieve in this practice, that beautiful connection of oneness, that acknowledgement of oneness, because we're human, our egos get involved. No matter how many years you've been doing this. I mean, I know Kathleen goes through this, I go through this. I've been doing this for 16 going on 17 years. And it's just something that happens in your head. You think, okay, there's still this separation. But when you have experiences like what Shelly experienced, when you start to really fully understand that it's just a place of oneness and you're transcending all pain and all physicalness at that point, you're rising above it. And in that space, it's just pure love. And not love like, when we think about love, like, oh, I love you to death. We have that really deep emotional, it's more that love feeling of all is well. You have nothing to worry about. You have no concerns. All is well. And that's ultimately what we're trying to offer all animals, is that beautiful all is well space. So when we're going to sit with animals and you find yourself going, oh my gosh, I don't know if my energy is strong enough for this, go back to the breath, go back to all is well mantra. Just breathe in, all is well, breathe out all tension, all stress, breathing in, all is well. And breathing out anything that's not okay, any blocks, any frustrations. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'll turn that back over to you, Jamie, and hopefully that came out clear.
It did come out clear. I think everybody thank the technology gods or Mercury or whoever it is, but it all came out clear. So it was great advice. And yeah, it's about us in our practice, right? So that we can catch ourselves when we go into that mode quickly, like we know something's off. And then we look, what am I doing? What's going on with me? Because it's never about the animals when we're in that space. It's always about what's happening in our head. And usually that's where we're at. We're in our head, we're in our ego, and we're not just letting go. And that is so hard. And I think we get constant lessons in how to let go in all areas of our life. And so it's not like, we'll never get another chance to practice this, because we will get chances every day to practice letting go of outcome. And it can be difficult, especially when we want something really bad and we desire it. And, we want to offer Reiki to these animals and we want to help them and we want to see them accepted and be happy and free from pain. And we really want that, but we have to let go of that. Otherwise, that's going to get in the way and stop it from happening. We're going to be in our ego and absolutely first recognizing that it's going on, I think is really important. Like, oh, I really want this and maybe I need to let go. Then the breath, our breath is so powerful. It will take us inward. It will help us let go of the ego, let go of those desires that are stopping us. Mantras are great. Chanting is great if you chant. All of those things that you can do. And you can do that the minute you catch yourself getting wrapped up in the outcome, right? And then you can turn inward. Okay, what can I do? I'm caught up in the outcome, and start focusing on that and not even worrying about offer Reiki at that time, because it's not going to come out the way you want it. Anyway, because you're caught up in that ego and the desire, and you're caught up in the outcome. So that's when it's time to go in, even if you're sitting out in a field with animals or at a shelter with animals, wherever you're at, and you catch yourself doing that, it's time to go in.
Or you could even ask the animals. I mean, it depends on where your head is. If you're really stressed, like let's say you're gone through a bad breakup and you're really stressed, but again, you know, we have to let go of that. I'm offering something. It's not good enough. You can ask the animals for their help. You can say, I'm having a really hard time concentrating. Would you mind supporting me? I'm having a really hard time getting past this. Could you support me? And again, that's our ego, right? Like, oh, we can't ask the animals for help because I'm supposed to be here supporting them. Again, when we transcend this physical, we're bigger than what's happening in the physical. Your mind is bigger. It's more expansive than what's happening in your physical body, that limited ego, right? So when animals are passing, you think, okay, oh, I can't, I'm too sad. My animal's passing. I can't get past this. Ask them for their help. I want to be here for you. Because even though their physical body is dying, they show us that their spirit, their soul is huge. It is so big. So it's a limiting belief, right? If we say, oh, I'm here to help you and you can't help me because you're sick. No, they can, because their spirit, their soul is so much bigger. And that's what we need to understand. Now, it's like, if you can't, like Jamie says, just leave. If you just really can't get into it, just like, but before you do, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on the animals. Ask for their help. See if that works. And it may not work. You may, like Jamie said, you may have to just go, hey, you know what? I'm just not in the space, because life happens. And we get overwhelmed. We get thrown off by things, and we just can't, especially, like, again, I'm going to be going through this very soon. One of your personal animals passes. That's a hard place to be. You're really emotional, you're crying, you're upset. But if you can let your animal know through your tears, through your pain, I love you, I appreciate you, I am so grateful for our time together. That's a different emotion than don't leave me. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad you're going. Oh my gosh, how am I going to go on without you? That's a completely different energy, right? That's not empowering. But the empowering one, it's fine if you cry. And in fact, there's quite a few different animal communicators. I shouldn't say quite a few. There's a handful of animal communicators that I really trust and admire. And they have all said the same thing. Animals don't mind when we cry, but they mind when our energy goes, oh my God, worry, worry, worry. But they don't mind if we're crying, especially if we're crying in appreciation and crying in gratitude. So always remember that. It's okay to cry, but don't start to take away that beautiful light, but with the thoughts of it's not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm really sad, I'm really worried. Worried is such a toxic emotion. So if we can let that go and go to that space of, I'm sad, but I appreciate you. I'm sad, but I know that where you're going is so much more beautiful and better than it is here. I'm sad, but I'm so thankful for our time together. There's ways that you can help elevate what's happening on that physical level. Even if you are sad, it's really our mindset. Yes, I'm sad, but I'm not, like fatalistic. I'm not depressed. I'm sad because I'm losing a good friend, but I'm also grateful and I'm happy for their next journey. So I'd like to open it up to people now, because we're coming on the half hour. And if you have any questions or comments, and again, you can raise your hand or you can unmute, and we'll try and catch you if you unmute. Does anyone want to comment? No one? Surely. Oh, wait, here we go. Wilma says, what works for me in situations where I feel the energy is not mine is to recite, I command all aspects not belonging to me, all aspects not in my highest good, be sent to the light right now. It works within seconds. I felt so much calmer and able to be with animals the way I should. That's beautiful, Wilma. Thank you so much for sharing that. So again, we think, oh, but that, some of us might think, oh, but that's not Reiki. Is it okay to do that? Of course it is. Whatever helps you to get into that space of non-attachment, non-judgment, of love, then use it. I love this mantra. I command all aspects not belonging to me, all aspects not in my highest good, be sent to the light right now. And you can even ask the animals, can you please help me with this? I want to heal this. And of course, they'll join in and help you. Yeah, Bruce. Thank
Yeah,
you.
my recent experience with one of the orca that just passed was discussing it with her before she went and spending time with her to let her know that it's your choice to pass when you pass.
Mhm.
That was a big thing because of the way that she was treated by everyone else following her death. Everybody in the news and the interviews that they did, everybody was going, "Oh, what a tragedy that she's gone." And all I got was rejoiced that she was able to go on her terms and
Right.
make it happen in her own way, and she could move on to her next project, which, if it works out, will be quite interesting, I think.
Exactly. And
But
I go ahead, Bruce. Sorry.
well, the discussion was, I discussed it with her several times when she comes to me, and it was always, if can I just go now? And because of where she was at in the circumstances, they wanted to move her. She wasn't sure about the move, and it finally came down to her health. She's in a good space. She's feeling good, but she doesn't like the idea of traveling for X number of hours in such a cramped space and
Mhm.
possibly getting sick again. So she decided to go, but we had discussed it. It's a good time. When is good for you is up to you. And that helped her and myself through the really tough parts of this.
Thank you. I love that. And that's it's another reminder that we have to get out of how we perceive death. We have to get away from how we perceive what's happening, right? Um, and that's hard to do, but with practice, that's why this is a practice. It's a daily practice. And if you only say the precepts, or only say all is well, repeating it all day long, reminding yourself that in this moment all is well, then we can be of better service. So thank you so much, Bruce. I really appreciate that. And I felt the same, that she was happy, because animals on the other side, there is no pain. It's just love, it's light, it's everything we're trying to obtain here in our physical. And they show us all the time we can obtain that beautiful space of love and light. We just have to let go of this ego. So Anna, it's so great that you're here. And Mary Ellen, welcome. I've been cutting out and losing things, so I think you came on before I realized. So welcome. We're so glad you're here. But let's see. Anna says, I pass a veal farm where I go to the shelter. I always let them know they are loved and safe. It is difficult to say all is well for them in that situation. So Anna, thank you so much for doing that, for sharing that. I agree. It is very hard to say all is well when we know they're going to slaughter, but also just blessing them with that light, blessing them with that gratitude for them. They're feeding others. There is a gratitude. I talked to one of my students. I know we're kind of going off topic a little bit because we're going to talk about distant, but I was talking to or about animals suffering. So talking to my student in level 1, and she works at a rehab center in Costa Rica. And she was talking about how sometimes baby monkeys come in and they pass, and how that really throws her and she gets really upset. And it's like, death isn't the worst thing to happen. So when you pass this veal farm and you think about their lives, is it better that they stay? Because again, in a reality, all is well. Their suffering is going to end very soon. Their suffering will end. But what we can do before that suffering ends is we can say, I love you, I appreciate you, I thank you. The people that you are feeding, thank you, and thank you so much. So that we honor their life for what it is. Yes, it's not what we would want for them, but what's happening is what's happening. So we can't change anything in that moment. But we can transcend it. We can offer that beautiful energy of love and light. And believe me, it's powerful. It helps. Another thing that Lorelei was struggling with is feeding and this kind of goes along with the veal farm, feeding rats to the boas. so that they could live. She says, she has to pick a rat to feed to the boa. And that is really hard for her. And she said, I pick one up and I say, I'm sorry. I put it in and I feel so bad. And I thought, okay, that is natural, right? That is completely natural, zero judgment. But what if when she just closes her eyes, she gets a rat, picks it up and says, thank you. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I am so grateful that you are, giving life to this boa. And I want to thank you for this. And then she puts the rat in. Now, of course, it's still, the rat's going to get eaten. He's still going to die. But she's changed the whole dynamic. She's changed the energy of what's happening. Those rats now, and if you look at it, okay, so these rats are being raised to be food, right? So they're in this like square area. There's all kinds of them. They're climbing all over themselves. It's not an ideal life. So if she picks one out of that non-ideal life of being raised to be food, brings him to her heart and says, I love you. I see you. I'm grateful. And thank you for giving life to this next animal. And then she puts that rat in. Yes, the outcome is the same, but the goodbye is so much more powerful than if she focuses on, oh my gosh, I'm sending this rat to death. Everything still has to happen. There's no changing it. The boas have to live. Unfortunately, they need live rats to feed. They usually, sometimes like at Kristen at Care, she feeds rat popsicles to the snakes. It's better if they get a live one, but she doesn't want to do that either, so she gets rat popsicles and then she feeds them. But in Costa Rica, they don't have that ability. So Lorelai has to feed the boas by taking this. But I told her, imagine the shift in energy when you start showing love and gratitude for these rats. Imagine what could happen to the snake that's eating that rat. Imagine the energy of the people around you when you stop spreading worry and regret, shame and guilt, and you start sharing love. That can shift so much. And so going back to the veal farm, Anna, dig deep into your higher power and give gratitude and send love. And whenever you're ready, all is well. In the moment that you are connecting to them, all is well. The moment they say goodbye to this physical earth, all is well. And we just give gratitude to these animals for feeding us. And I don't know, Anna, if you want to unmute and say anything more. I'll give her a second if she wants to. Oh, and then Mary Lynn says, I saw something similar. I surround myself in the white light of holy fire Reiki. Only that which is for my greatest and highest good will approach me, for I am a child of God and she protects me. That's a little different because what holy fire is trying to do there is create protection. So when we create protection, we're creating a boundary. But I bring white light in for my highest and greatest good, right? Because when we talk about being approached or something, that again, it's like I'm fearful of what might come. We don't have to be fearful of anything when we're in that beautiful open space of love. And you can also say, for I am a child of God and she is with me, or he is with me, or whatever you want to say. But we don't have to go into protection mode because protection means a boundary. When I have protection, I have a boundary. And so you have to get through that boundary to get to my heart. But when we're working with animals, we don't have to ever protect ourselves. We always just want to be open because there's nothing to protect ourselves when it comes to animals. Now, for people, that's a whole different thing, though, Mary Lynn. And so, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yes. I guess the words don't match what you said. And what you said is how I think about the protection is regarding the chaotic thought or the distraction. So I want to be protected from that
Mm-hmm.
and send that, just
Yeah.
send it
Yeah. And if that works for you, that's great.
to, Holy
Yeah.
Fire Reiki.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, and if that works for you, if you find success like Wilma found with hers, then do that, because again, we have to go to what helps us. And as long as it's nothing where we're pushing the animal away or where we're not letting them leave, then yeah, I mean, I love
yeah.
that for you. If that helps you, then wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, Jamie, I don't know if you want to
You're
add to
welcome.
that as well.
That is something you hear a lot, like the protection. And it's taught a lot, let's face it, in a lot of different Reiki classes, but it's so true, really, when we're in that space of love and light, that, consciousness that makes up all life. There's nothing, we don't really need protection from that. But I totally get what you were saying, Mary Lynn, because it's not so much protection as not allowing the negative thoughts to come in and kind of hijack your session, right? Or hijack where you're at.
Right. And I can see where, through this discussion, that I can make some adaptations to that saying. So thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Marilyn.
Yeah.
Welcome, Monica and Trisha. So, in fact, Monica, I don't know if you can unmute. Going back to, so we're talking about offering, sharing, not offering, sharing our energy in a space with a group of animals when we're there for one animal. And, of course, our light shines no matter what. So that animal will definitely get it. I've had students where on the healing bridge and in a group where they'll tell the animal that comes close, oh no, this isn't for you. And they push them away either energetically or physically. And it's like, no, all are welcome to join, all are welcome to share, because they're teaching us that it's not this one-off thing. We are all connected. And when we're connected, like what Shelley experienced, the student in the earlier class, is that we are more powerful when we acknowledge that connection, when we identify and go, oh, this is why I feel so deep right now, because the animals are supporting me. Then we realize we're just one piece in this beautiful circle. We are just one link in this chain, right? And so when we're sitting there and we're offering, if we can allow ourselves to just feel that connection, feel that empowerment, and feel that expansiveness, we start to deeply understand, yes, I might be here for this one animal, but all the animals are connecting. And when all of the animals connect, that one single animal that we want to have extra support gets it, because we're all connected. We're all elevating, expanding this big, beautiful energy. So Monica, I was hoping you could unmute, because Monica kind of has the same situation as Lorelei, where she works in a shelter in Croatia, where there's 500 dogs at any given time. And she gets puppies in there. And there are times when the puppies don't make it. But I know that she recently switched her whole emotion to, I love you and you can let go, because animals will struggle to survive. There is that natural instinct to survive. That's why you see a lot of animals who have been in abusive situations, they get to sanctuary, they get to shelter, and then maybe within the first week they pass, and people are like, oh no, that's so horrible. We just rescued them and they passed. But it's not horrible. Animals let go when they feel safe, when they feel loved. They go, okay, I can let go. I no longer have to struggle. I no longer have to survive. And so, Monica, great, you were able to unmute. So I would love to hear more about your experience with that, Monica, because I think it's a beautiful lesson.
Yeah, I had this problem because with so many dogs, I always want to share Reiki with all of them. And I start with 1 and 2 and 3. And, I had this problem. How can I do it for everyone? And yeah, Leah taught me to just be the light for everyone, and everyone will feel my love for them. And also for the puppies, yes, recently one died in my arms, and I was just, it was really sad and really hard and really emotional. But yeah, that feeling of love and safety, and it's hard for me to explain, but I held him in my arms and I was just telling him, we love you, you are safe, and you go to a good place. And thank you for sharing your space with us. We are blessed to have you, but now you're ready to go. And that is the lesson I learned from Leah and from Let Animals Lead. And I'm really grateful for that. It's easier to survive in shelter with so many animals.
Oh, thank you so much, Monica. And Monica's coming out with a new blog too about Heart. You know, we talked about Heart the last, I don't know if it was last time or a couple weeks ago. The dog that was in not a great situation and came to the shelter and was having a really hard time acclimating, and how Monica helped her through that. So thank you. And thank you, Monica, because that's so true. It's easy for us. And I love how you acknowledged your pain. It's easy for us to go deep into that pain because that's how we're raised. That's how we're conditioned. If you're sad, if you want to cry, you know, somebody's dying, you cry. It's like a way to honor them. So we are going to get emotional, but always keeping that energy of thank you. And and also giving them that permission. How powerful is that? It's okay to let go. You're safe. That's so powerful, right, Monica?
Yeah. And it's sometimes hard for me because you don't even have time to say goodbye properly, and you don't have time to be sad. You just have to go on for others. But yeah, I feel that emotion of relief kind of, and emotion of huge love and light for them.
I love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing,
Thank
Monica.
you.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
Always great to see you. So
I think,
go ahead, Jane.
I think Susan had her hand up.
Oh, did she? Okay, great. Oh, Susan, sorry about that.
I can't help noticing that this whole conversation is about the power that we have, and specifically the power of our words. And I just happened to be simultaneously taking a very intensive course on intention and the power of your words. And specifically, it's about the healing community, which in part we are. And your words, whether you think them as we do with animals so often, or a healer, a physician, or a paramedic, or whoever uses specific words, they can damn you or they can heal you. And the sad part is most still don't understand that they have that power on both sides. So there's this wonderful woman in London who is teaching these classes about the difference between saying, I'm really sorry to tell you this, dog, human, whoever, you only have 3 weeks to live. There's just no way around it. There's nothing in the healing world that's going to be able to help you. That is a condemnation that is as powerful as all is well or I love you. But using the words that we are learning to do in dealing with animals is just as powerful. All is well. And we do love them, and it comes through. And once again, I'm struck with the idea that I think LAL in Reiki form is one day going to be the teacher for humans. This is so ahead of the game that's being played out elsewhere. So I'll quit there.
Oh, I love that so much, Susan. Thank you so much for that. I always love how you come in and you have these beautiful epiphanies, and it just brings it all together. So thank you so much for that. That was beautiful and so true. So we have about 1 more minute. I don't want to talk, and I would love to give somebody else a chance to chime in, share. Anyone who hasn't spoken yet, if you'd like to just say hi or ask a quick question, you can unmute or you can raise your hand. You know, one thing about these calls is just the community. It's so wonderful. We have such great discussions. Oh, Mary Lynn wants to know what's the name of the woman, Susan, the teacher. If you could put it in chat, Susan. I don't know if you can put her name in chat for Mary Lynn, and if not, we can get it. I can get it at the end here and share it with all of you. But if no one has anything more, no one wants to share. I can't believe that. Okay, does anybody who's already talked want to say anything more before we close out? Yes, Mary Lynn, go ahead.
Yes, about group Reiki. Yesterday when I was at the shelter, I was there's a room where some of the dogs were there were about maybe 6 dogs in their separate little homes. So I sat outside in the hall, which is right smack dab next to where they are, and offering them Reiki there, saying their names, and it's effective even when I'm in the hallway and I'm not facing them. You know, I know it's effective because the energy was flowing, and they started out barking like mad and they got very quiet. So
yeah, I love
that's my take about the group.
Because think about, and I think we've talked about this, and like Jamie said, I love that she pointed this out, you know, we repeat because you have to hear things sometimes 7 times before it really becomes ingrained in you. But I love how that example, when you bring yourself in, you start shining your light, the other dogs start quieting down. Imagine yourself as a flame and you start to ignite the flame in others. It's no longer, you're not really doing the work, because the flame of others starts to ignite the flame of others around them, right? And so your energy ignites the energy, you know, you join together with the energy of one dog, and then they all join, right? It's like, boom, all who want to connect. And, you know, we all are connected. So it's like, it's hard to explain this in a way, right? We're all connected, but it's hard for us to understand it. So we start to see this, and even the way I talk about it is still that separation. But when we can just let go and we start to go inward, and our energy becomes really powerful, we start to join in, and then they start to like, oh, calm, this is nice. Just like Lorelei with all those parrots, I've talked about her. She was with 100 parrots and they all quieted down, right? It's like fire. It just goes out. And then before you know it, we're all just really connecting at that deeper, higher level. It's not really on that physical level anymore. So thank you so much, Mary Lynn. Michelle, yes, hello, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Thanks for welcoming me. Just a quick, a couple days ago, I was on my way home and came across a woman and her dog. The dog had just been hit. So I stopped to be a part of that. The dog was still alive. And this conversation has reminded me that as I was tending to the dog, my focus was on Coco and doing what I could be there for Coco. I didn't realize until later that the light was not just going to the animals, but to the people who were there with me as well. So that really sank in afterwards, talking to one of the neighbors who was there, and her response as to my presence and what was going on, how I was focused on Coco, but it was hitting all the people as well. So it's like,
oh my God, I love that. Michelle, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for being brave and unmuting and sharing this. That is exactly right. That's what we're talking about. We don't even realize when we're sitting there, our energy is going out. We don't even realize how powerful it is on such a subtle level, but yet people were responding to what you were doing, what you were offering. They were starting to feel calm in their body because you were calm. You were sharing this beautiful light of just love and all is well. and bringing that to everyone. That is so beautiful. And I love that too, because it shows again the power of this practice, how we're never without something to give, how we're never without the ability to offer support, no matter what the circumstances, whether we can touch the animal or not, and how our energy influences not only what's happening, between us and the animals, but what's happening with nature, what's happening with other humans. So that is, and yay you for, having just the strength, because that takes a lot of strength. We have to acknowledge that, to go and sit with an animal that is suffering, and to just be able to share that light and to share that with the people too. And not even really, you, like you said, it wasn't like this cognizant, oh, hey, I've got to share this with all these people. It was just your light and love. And probably Coco, right? Once you guys joined in that beautiful space where it was the two of you, boom, it's even more powerful, which is why we do this with animals, which is why if you go to a meditation group, you're probably going to have a great time meditating with humans, and you'll feel it deeper. But animals take us to a place that no human can take us. Animals help us transcend that human experience. So thank you so much. Oh, and then Marilyn says, Michelle, the situation was meant to be despite the sadness because you were brought there. Timing, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's not.
No
It's just,
accidents.
I'm just not surprised anymore. I'm just happen to be. Yeah, there's no accidents.
Right?
It's, Michelle, you need to go here now. It's like, okay.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate you unmuting and going on camera and sharing, because that's beautiful. And again, it just emphasizes the power of this community, how we all have stories to share. And when we share our stories, I'm getting a little emotional. When we share our stories, we all grow, we all expand. And remember, an expanded heart can never go back. It can't contract to this small, narrow heart. The more you expand, the bigger you are, the bigger your energy, the stronger your light. So thank you so much to everyone who shared. And we will go to Jamie now for our meditation. It is 11:25. And before, just one second, I just want to say thank you, because I'm going to shut off the recording so that it's clean. So if you guys all want to listen to it, you won't have us talking at the end saying goodbye. But I want to just thank everyone for joining us: Trisha, Monica, Wilma, Anna, Liza, Mary Ellen, Mary Lynn, Bruce, Kathy, Beth, Susan, and Michelle. Thank you so much for being here. So without further delay, we'll pass it on over to Jamie.
Okay, thank you, Leah. And if everyone would like to just get in a comfortable position, go ahead and just take a couple of deep breaths to release any stress that you may be feeling today. Just really breathe into the belly, and then on the exhale, just release whatever's not serving you. And now go ahead and bring your hands in gasso, or the prayer position, and set your intention to allow your light to shine and create this beautiful space of love and light and compassion, and invite any animal, person, being, whoever would like to step into this space. You welcome them. And now go ahead and place your hands in your lap. It can be palms up or down, whatever's comfortable for you. And begin by taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose, pulling it all the way down to your belly, that heart area, really filling the belly. And then exhale gently out through your mouth. Take another slow, deep breath in, pulling it all the way down to the belly. And this time, visualize a light, a flame being ignited. And then as you exhale, this light goes out into the space around you. Now take another slow, deep breath in, pulling it all the way down, really igniting that light now. Your whole body is beginning to shimmer with this light. And then exhale the light back out into the space around you. Take another breath in, pulling it down to the belly, igniting that light. And exhale the light out. Breathe it out. Take another breath in, down to the belly, igniting the light. And then exhale this light back out into the space around you and out to the universe. Do two more. Breathe in, ignite the light, and exhale it out. Last one. Breathe in, down to the belly, igniting the light, and exhale the light out. Now let your breath find a natural rhythm. And take a moment just to really be in this space that you've created with your breath. Notice that every cell in your body is glistening with this beautiful light. And if you've allowed this light to go outward with your breath, you've created a space, just as the sun does, as it shines down. You have shined out for any being that needs to join in this space. And just keep your focus on this beautiful light shining outward. And see it just shining out like the sun does with its rays of warmth and light. You're sending out rays of love and light and compassion. And then invite any animal to step into it. And just notice who shows up. Don't try to direct it to them. Just notice and give a smile and a nod. Just to let them know you appreciate them joining you. Just hold that space. And feel the love that you have for animals, for maybe the particular one that showed up in this meditation. And the gratitude that no matter what is happening, there's gratitude and love, and all is well. In this space, all is well. Just continue to allow your breath to flow. And allow this light and this love to flow through you, into you, and out to share with the world. And know that whoever showed up is perfect. Whatever gifts they offered you, you can carry with you throughout the day. You can carry this space inside of you, in your heart, In every cell of your body, you can carry the love and the light and the compassion that you've experienced here this morning with you. And you can allow it to shine out for all you encounter today without needing to know, without needing to know if you're helping, if they're receiving it. None of that is important. All that matters is that you shine. Now go ahead and bring your hands in Gaso and give thanks to whoever joined you. However they joined you was perfect. Take a deep cleansing breath in, pulling it all the way down to your belly, allowing it to anchor you back into this reality. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes.